Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Lucamus Prime here, so it's time for another franchise ranking video today, guys. I'm going to be ranking one of my favourite animated franchises of all time, which is the Ice Age franchise, which is made mostly by Blue Sky Studios, and yeah, so guys, I'm going to be ranking all 6 of the movies, and it's going to be in my personal opinion on them. So, if you guys don't agree with me, that's absolutely fine, but please respect my opinion just like I respect yours. So yeah, now I'm going to be honest, guys, and say that, this franchise I do love, but to be honest, guys, I only enjoy half of this franchise. There are 3 movies in this franchise which I despise, and we'll get to. So, anyway, guys, let's begin with rankings. So, starting with what is my all-time favourite Ice Age movie, I'm going to go with the 3rd movie, Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs, released in 2009 and directed by Carlos Saldanha, with co-direction by Mike Vermeer. So yeah, this is easily my favourite out of the franchise, guys, and yeah, so good qualities is, I really love the entire voice cast of this movie, guys. So, for example, I really love John Leguizamo as Sid. He's really entertaining as Sid. This is probably my favourite voice role of John Leguizamo. And I also as well love Ray Romano as Manny. And I'm going to be honest, guys, and say that Manny's my favourite character in the franchise because he's so funny. Really amazing comic relief, and yeah, very entertaining. And yeah, I really do love his portrayal in this movie and the others as well. And yeah, I also as well loved Dennis Leary as Diego. I think this is probably my all-time favourite role of Dennis Leary. I think he's very great as Diego. And yeah, I also as well loved Queen Latifah as Ellie. She's probably my favourite female character in the franchise, and yeah, she's really great in the role of Ellie, absolutely. And I also as well, definitely as well, love the addition of Crash and Eddie, who are the 2 possum friends of Ellie. And they're both really entertaining characters, guys, really fun to watch. I really do love those 2 characters. Very entertaining to watch. And yeah, really great characters. Who are voiced by Sean William Scott and Josh Peck. Opossums, yeah, really great characters. I also as well think probably one of the main highlights of the movie, guys, is it introduces one of my favourite characters, which is Buck, voiced by one of my favourite comedians of all time, Simon Pegg. This is my favourite voice role of Simon Pegg, guys. He's really entertaining as Buck, and yeah, really great. I also really love the music by John Powell. John Powell has done really great music for many franchises, guys. This is definitely no exception because he did a great job of music in this. I also as well loved the animation. The animation, in my opinion, was really beautiful, guys, and yeah, really great for 2009 standards. And I think the story is also very heartwarming, guys, because what I love about this movie, guys, is it feels like it gives the characters a really happy ending to the story. Because, in my opinion, guys, this movie is the true end of the Ice Age franchise, and yeah, I like to pretend nothing came out of this franchise because this movie was so heartwarming and it gave a great ending. The story about Sid being taken by a female Tyrannosaurus Rex after stealing her eggs, leaving the rest of the herd to rescue him in a tropical lost world inhabited by dinosaurs beneath the ice. So yeah, and I love how this movie gave a really amazing happy ending, and yeah. And of course, it's revealed that Manny and Ellie now have a baby, which is called Peaches, and yeah. And yeah. And I only like Peaches, guys, in terms of movies, only in this movie and in the shorts, the specials. So, yeah. And so, yeah, this is definitely my favourite out of the franchise, guys. And, yeah, so that being said, I'm going to give this movie, guys, I was to rate it a flat-out 10 out of 10. My favourite. And now, so on to what is my second favourite. We're going to go which is the first one, Ice Age in 2002, directed by Chris Wedge. As a fun fact, guys, he's a voice actor for Scrat. So, yeah. Scrap, by the way, guys, is also really great comic relief as well. So, yeah. So the good qualities is, once again, really amazing voice acting by the cast, absolutely. They all do a really great job in this movie. They're really good in the roles. So I've already touched upon Ray Romano, Dennis Leary, John Leguizamo, Chris Wedge, and also as well several others too who of course appeared in future movies. But yeah, when it comes to casting choose this movie, guys, I do like how we got a villain called Salter, who is voiced by Goran sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, but yeah, he voices Soto, and yeah, Soto was a good villain, guys, but, you know, I think one bad quote I could say about this movie is he was quite underused into very much screen time, but he was still really entertaining with his voice acting, Goran was, and yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was also in The Boys, if I remember correctly, the Amazon Prime show, which was pretty cool, that he appeared in that show, and yeah, if I remember correctly, yes, he was in series 2, yeah, and he was also in Doctor Who as well, which is pretty cool. I don't remember much of his been in, though. I also like the addition of Diedrich Bader as Oscar as well. And we even got Jack Black as Zek, guys, which is pretty cool. I think it's Zeki, I think it is, yeah. And also Cedric Entertainer as Carl, and Alan Tudyk as Lenny. So, yeah, we got some pretty good actors in this, which is pretty awesome. And, yeah. And once again, guys, the movie had great music composed by David Newman. Very good music. And Scrat is also very funny as well. Great comic relief, guys, absolutely. And Venomation for 2002 is also really good, although in some areas it may not hold up very well to, you know, this year's standards, which is understandable, you know, due to being quite old. So, yeah. So that's understandable. And, yeah. And, I do also believe a character called Roshan became a popular internet meme due to the design not really holding up very well. And, yeah. And some could also say the third act of the movie is quite predictable, but, yeah. But nonetheless, guys, I think this movie is still a great start to a franchise with great characters, music, and also a great story, how it introduced so many beloved characters in it, and it developed them really well, and the humour as well. And yeah, so guys, I'm going to rate this movie a 9 out of 10. That's how I'd rate it out of 10. So yeah, now, on to what is my third favourite. I'm going to go with the second installment, which is Age The Meltdown, released in 2006, directed by Carlos Saldana. So yeah, now, good qualities. Once again, this is definitely a very good movie, guys, absolutely, and this is my third favourite. So the good qualities is, once again, great voice acting. So, I've already mentioned before, Ray Romano, John Leguizamo, Dennis Leary. I love how this movie introduced us to Ellie and also Crash and Eddie, which was really great, and the actors who voiced them did a really amazing job of this movie. And I thought Ellie was pretty funny, how she thought she was an opossum at first, and yeah, but it was pretty funny. The animation is also an improvement to a first movie as well, due to it being 4 years after. So yeah, that's definitely one good thing. And also, it also has great music as well, which is composed by John Powell. I think this is his first movie as composer, and he was definitely great at composing. Yeah, really good. And I really like the chemistry between characters as well. Very entertaining to watch. And yeah, and the ending was also pretty funny as well, guys. I will admit the ending was really good. Yeah. Where it shows Scrat again, yeah. And also as well, I like the addition of new characters, aside from Ellie, Scrat, and Eddie, such as Will Arnett as the Long Gunslinger Vulture, and also Jay Leno as Fast Tony. Alan Tudyk also appeared in a movie as a character called Charlie as well. So yeah. However, the bad quality I could probably say is, despite Will Arnett being great as a Vulture, I feel like he was quite underused and very much screen time, which I personally not like, because I really like Will Arnett's voice work. I mean, I like him a lot, guys. My favourite role of him will always be Batman in the Lego movies, and also as his role in Monster vs. Aliens, where he provided the voice of the missing link, and also as Mr. Perkins in the first Despicable Me movie as well. And it's probably the roles that I'm keen to check him out in as well, aside from those. But yeah, he was still very good as a Vulture, but I wish he had more screen time. And I think some characters can also be quite irritating as well in some aspects, in my opinion. But yeah, like for example, Sid can be a bit annoying in some areas, as in so can Crash and Eddie, but despite them being really funny. And yeah, and the water animation also, in my opinion, doesn't hold up very well, in my opinion. And also, what's also I also don't like is the inclusion of adult language in a kids movie, such as the word wild ass. So yeah, which is definitely not for kids, guys, and yeah. And it's also confusing how Diego is afraid of water, even though in the first movie he entered a river to chase the baby and his mother. So yeah, I don't understand why he's afraid of water in this movie, despite being in it in the first movie. And yeah. And there's also a bit of a plot hole with regards to, because when the group is about to set off together after they first meet, Manny calls Ellie by her name, but the only time it was ever mentioned before was that when she and the Possum Brothers were talking privately, and he shouldn't have heard it. So yeah, like, how do you know her name? Pretty confusing, isn't it? But nevertheless, guys, I can let up my quality slide because this is my third favourite, and I give this movie an 8 out of 10. So yeah, those three, in my opinion, are the only item movies that I do love, guys. So yeah. And I wish for the third movie ended the franchise, but no. Because it did well at the box office, they decided to do sequels to this. So yeah, let's get on to them. The ones I hate. Oh, God. But yeah. Anyway, guys, so that leads on to what is in 4th place in my ranking. Not a favorite because I don't like it. In 4th place, we have Age Continental Drift. Released in 2012, directed by Steve Martino and Michael Vermeer again, after he co-directed Dawn of the Dinosaurs. So yeah, now, this movie, in my opinion, guys, is a massive disappointment, so yeah. But the good quality I could say is the voice acting by the cast is really good with the direction that we're given. Ray Romano, Dennis Leary, John Leguizamo, Queen Latifah, Sean William Scott, and Josh Peck. And Peter Dinklage, despite not really liking his character, he was good as the character Captain Gut. And yeah. And Jennifer Lopez was also good as Shira, in my opinion. But yeah. And so was Nick Frost as Flynn, who is an elephant seal. Like, in my opinion, Flynn was probably my favourite pirate in the movie out of Captain Gut's crew, in my opinion. And also, I also like we got an appearance by Sir Patrick Stewart as Aris Crackle, who is a saber-tooth squirrel from Scratlantis, as it's called, yeah. Alright, I hate how he didn't appear until the epilogue of the movie, which is disappointing. So, yeah. And John Paul's music was also good as well, guys, in my opinion. And yeah, and the animation is also good as well. Oh, but yeah, on to bad qualities, guys. A character who I really can't stand, and who's, in my opinion, the main downfall of the movie, is definitely Peaches, because I really could not stand her in this movie, guys. She was so incredibly annoying. Like, in my opinion, the worst character in this franchise. I could not stand her at all. Like, and don't you dare get me started on the scene where she says to Manny that she wishes he wasn't her father. Like, oh my God. Oh, it made me angry. Oh my God. Yeah, I really could not stand her at all. Goodness me, she was so incredibly annoying. Like, Keke Palmer did good voicing her, but the direction she had to work was just horrendous. Oh my God. Not only that, guys, but they also wasted Buck and Rudy because they only appeared in a Blink and Miss It cameo, which I definitely did not like. Very disappointing. And yeah, there's also a plot hole with regards to Gut's crew, because the animals on his crew are carnivores. They only eat meat. Yet, on their ship, all we have is fruit and vegetables. So, what are they supposed to be eating? They can't eat fruit and veg. They're carnivores. Oh my God. I also think Gut was a very weak villain as well, guys. Didn't like Gut. Despite getting performance from Peter Dinklage, I think this is probably his weakest role. And yeah, it's just ridiculous, guys. And I also as well could not stand the romance between Shira and Diego. Like, it just felt so pointless, and it served no purpose to the story at all. Despite being pretty natural, I thought it was unnecessary and pointless. And yeah, this movie is just so inferior to the first 3 movies. It's so necessary because the third movie ended on a great note. They shouldn't have done any more movies. And yeah. And it was also really weird how it made Scrat cause the drift, which the movie is called, you know? Like, very unrealistic and stupid. So yeah. But because of the voice acting, animation, and the music, and also Flame being an entertaining character, I give this movie a 5 out of 10. So yeah. It's probably the most tolerable out of all the 3 movies I despise, but on to what is, in my opinion, the second worst of the franchise is none other than the 5th installment, which is Ice Age Collision Course. Oh my God. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, we got a 5th installment, which in my opinion was absolutely terrible. And yeah, this movie released in 2016, directed by Michael Vermeer. This was the last movie in the franchise to be made by Blue Sky before we shut down. So yeah, the last acting movie made by Blue Sky. But yeah, so the only good quality I can say is the voice acted by the cast is good, I guess, in my opinion. I think they still do a good job with what they're given. Animation is also very good for a standard of 2016 as well, and the music composed by John Debney is also decent in my opinion, pretty good, but I personally prefer John Powell's score way more. And it was also a guilty pleasure to see Buck return, I guess, and yeah. And we got some new characters, like, for example, Stephanie Beatrice as Gertie. But I like her way more as Mirabelle in Encanto, guys, to be honest. Oh, yeah. And also Nick Offerman as Gavin, but I like him way more as Metalbeard in Lego movies, actually, guys. So, yeah. And, however, onto the bad qualities, like, I think aside from Peaches being so annoying as usual, guys, because I could not stand her character at all, like, I really hated the inclusion of spaceships. Like, oh my god. Like, what on earth were they thinking, including spaceships in this movie? Like, this is not a sci-fi franchise. This is supposed to be, you know, like an old... This isn't supposed to be set in old times of Earth, you know? Like, prehistoric times. Like... It takes away the idea of it being an Ice Age movie by including spaceships. Are you having a laugh? This is not Ice Age. So yeah, like, by having Scrat go into a spaceship and wear a spacesuit, like, that ruins his character, guys. Like, it made him such an unlikable character. They really ruined Scrat in this movie. Oh my god. So yeah. And also, there was also no Rudy or Ethan, which was disappointing as well, guys. Oh, God. But yeah, the spaceship thing ruined it for me. And also, like, this movie was incredibly boring as hell. Like, so ridiculous, guys. And yeah, really bad. And also, the idea of Scrat falling to Earth's core is also, you know, like him informed me, was just dumb. In this movie, there's another plot hole regarding Scrat, because in one scene, he causes the internal gravity of the UFO to decrease, which flattens him and renders it impossible for him to do specific actions, such as jumping. And the next time he is shown the gravity of the UFO, he suddenly returns to normal. Like, how did he go back to normal? And also, there's also false advertisement for the movie, guys, because in the posters show him wearing a spacesuit, but in the movie, he only wears it in 3 scenes. And also, despite appearing a lot on the posters, neither Brooke or Shangri-La appear until the final act of the movie. And we're not given proper screen time or characterization. And yeah, and what's also so laughable, guys, is the back of the Blu-ray of the DVD says it's the best Ice Age movie. It's not! Oh my god. But yeah. And I guess probably one of the good quality could also be the addition of Jessie J as Brooke. She was good as very much into very much screen time, but yeah. But yeah, this movie, in my opinion, is probably the worst, like, you know, out of the original 5 movies, guys, before, you know, Blue Sky shut down. So, because of these bad qualities, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. But now, on to what is, in my opinion, the number 1, absolutely worst Ice Age movie of all time. We're going to the spin-off, which was released actually this year, guys. Actually on January 28th. And it's none other than The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. Oh my god. As I said on my community post, guys, when I said I'd seen this movie, in my opinion, was a complete waste of time. Like, this is an absolute disgrace, guys. Directed by John C. Donkin, he's called, and yeah, like, easily, in my opinion, the number 1 worst of a franchise, and yeah, this is also made by Disney as well, guys, because Blue Sky shut down, and yeah, and they absolutely ruined this movie. Just like how they ruined other great franchises like Star Wars, and they're ruining Marvel, Home Alone, and many others. They've definitely ruined this franchise with this movie. Like, this movie makes 4 and 5 look like masterpieces in comparison. I mean, not even good movies, in my opinion, but this, oh my god. Like, it's just an absolute disgrace to a franchise. Ruins what the first, you know, 3, in my opinion, great movies stood for. And yeah, like, the franchise already overstayed its welcome after a 3rd movie, because the 3rd movie, in my opinion, finished, you know, the franchise perfectly. You know, 4 and 5 were unnecessary, and this was definitely no exception, because it was totally unnecessary. So, however, on to good qualities, Simon Pegg as Buck, in my opinion, is the only redeeming aspect with regards to the voice acting, because he still gave a great performance as a voice of Buck in this movie. Especially because he's the only actor to return from the first 5 movies. Because get this, guys, they recast the characters who return from the first 5 movies, which was a very dumb move. And also, guys, what's also stupid is, this movie has false advertisement because it's meant to be a spin-off about Buck, yet it doesn't feel like it at all because he barely gets any focus. They focus way more on Crash and Eddie compared to Buck. And what's stupid is they replaced Sean William Scott and Josh Peck with Vincent Tong and Aaron Harris as Crash and Eddie. And in my opinion, they were not good replacements. I like Vincent Tong far more as Kai in Lego Ninjago, guys. But I definitely did not like him in this movie at all. And yeah. They also recast Sid, Diego, Ellie, and Manny as well, which is also a very dumb move. In my opinion, guys, Jake Green sounded absolutely nothing like John Leguizamo as Sid. And also, they made Sid really unlikable in this movie because, he didn't even appear to care about Crash and Eddie at all. Really? That is not the Sid I know. And yeah. And also, guys, in my opinion, Dominique Jennings, who plays Ellie in this movie, is a terrible replacement because she sounds absolutely nothing like Queen Latifah at all. She was horrendous in the role. What were they thinking recasting the characters? They got Simon Pegg back, why can't they remember the actors? Oh my god. And also, Skylar Stone as Diego was also a bad replacement because he didn't have the exact same accents which Dennis Leary used in the role for Diego. So he sounded so different. And Sean Kenan Elias Reyes was also a bad replacement for Manny because he also didn't sound much like Ray Romano at all. Oh my god. And this movie was also incredibly boring as hell, guys. It was so hard to watch because it was so boring and stupid. And yeah. And not only that, but it was just, it was so boring, generic, ridiculous. It had no reason to be made at all, because, in my opinion, the franchise perfectly ended with a third movie. And also, guys, there's no Scrat either, because Disney don't even own the rights to Scrat, apparently. So, that's another reason why we shouldn't have done this movie, because they don't have the rights to Scrat, so they shouldn't have included him in the movie. They shouldn't have even done this movie in the first place, because they couldn't include Scrat. This is not an Ice Age movie without Scrat. He should have appeared in the movie like a cameo appearance, but he didn't. Very dumb move how they made this movie in the first place. Oh my god. And also, many characters who appeared before were also absent as well, which is also ridiculous. I mean, I'm kind of glad Peter didn't return because she's annoying as hell, but yeah, still, many others didn't return, which was very stupid. No characters introduced in the third movie, if I remember correctly, returned. I don't think Brooke returned, which is disappointing. Because she was probably one of the very few things I liked about the fifth movie, even though she didn't have very much screen time. And yeah. And I also, as well, I also thought the animation was also really bad, guys. The animation was a big step down compared to the first 5 movies. Even the animation in the first movie is way better than this. The animation for this movie, a 2022 movie, it looks like a PS3 game in terms of graphics. That's just stupid. It literally looks like I'm playing. I look like I was watching a PS3 game's cutscenes because the animation was so weak and bad compared to the first 5 movies. Oh my god, it was just a disgrace. This is not an Ice Age movie, guys, at all. It's definitely not Ice Age, in my opinion. Definitely not at all. It was just so terrible. Oh god. But yeah. But anyway, guys, if I was to rate it out of 10, well, because of Simon Pegg being the only redeemable aspect of the movie as Buck, and the music composed by Batu Senna, I think he's called, being somewhat decent, but I prefer John Powell's score way more, I'm going to give this movie a very bad 2 out of 10, because it was an absolute disgrace. I hate it. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, so I'm done with my Ice Age ranking, so yeah. As far as I'm concerned, guys, I only like the first half of this franchise. The first 3 movies I despise, the 4th, 5th, and the spin-off. So yeah. So this hard ranking, guys. So first place would be Dawn of the Dinosaurs, then the first movie, then The Meltdown, and then on to ones which I despise, being Continental Drift, Collision Course, and The Adventures of Buck Wild. So yeah. Like, oh my god. So yeah, like, so they shouldn't have done any more movies, guys, and yeah, they just ruined the franchise, just like Disney all have a track record of doing, really. So yeah, anyway, guys, so it's me doing my Ice Age ranking, and yeah, so you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure on the comments how you guys would rank Ice Age movies, how you guys would rank them. Also, be sure to join Team Prime and subscribe for movies in the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can join. Peace out, I'll keep in the description, and I'll see you all later.